Guerrillas Volume 1. So a few weeks ago, oh, by the way, welcome to the channel, Gray Cloud Thoughts. Yes, you heard me right. Oh. And I do have a main channel. I think for the most part, most people that are on this channel here come from the main channel. But over the few months that I've had this second channel here, Gray Cloud Thoughts, there are some people that have subscribed that have, I don't think, any clue about the main channel. Most of you people, I think, that subscribe to this channel come by the way of my shorts. But this is a long form video. Not real long, but however long it takes. So a few weeks ago, might have been even about a month ago, I don't know. I did a couple little short, or I did a video talking about that I'm fixing to read these Guerrillas volumes again. An independent comic book by Brom Revel. And I kind of showed y'all a little bit. I showed you the covers. This is volume 1. I have fully reread this one. And what I thought I'd do is read you the back here to give you a little more insight to what you're looking at from this book. Death surrounds Private John Francis Clayton for a first tour soldier in Nam. Trouble lurks around every corner, whether it's from the Viet Cong that hide out in the jungle or his brothers in arms who mistrust him as fresh meat. But as bad as Private Clayton's tour of duty has been, he ain't seen nothing yet. When his platoon is massacred in an ambush, he is left utterly alone, surrounded by the enemy on all sides. Or so he thinks. Clayton has no idea that his rescue is on the way, let alone that his rescuers are a bunch of chimps. As I've showed you, you're dealing with, they are in Vietnam, and you're dealing with an experimental project where they've been experimenting on certain primates to try to make them smarter and learn how to be able to use the guns and train them like soldiers and put them into war. So that's what you're dealing with there. So gun-toting, cigar-chomping, military-trained apes, or chimps. Now Private Clayton must join a new unit as this mysterious squad fights for survival in the midst of the strangest war any soldier has ever been part of. Guerrillas Volume 1 is the opening salvo in a trilogy of graphic novels by cartoonist and storyboard artist Brom Revel. So Brom Revel evidently was part of, well, it says he's the introduction by Jackson Public creator of the Venture Brothers. But artist Brom Revel, and then it says the Venture Brothers. So Brom Revel, Brahmrevel, he had done, there's your opening scene. What I got to say about this overall, all of this, overall, it's a very entrapping story. There's your main character. And it's told through his eyes. And it's cool because it talks about it, even though it's set in the 70s or the late 60s, the late 60s or whatever, when Vietnam was going on. Much of what's going on in the main character's dialogue to himself throughout the book, you can easily find yourself in much of his own story. If, you know what I mean? Like, depending on your upbringing and stuff, like, a lot of it has to do with him remembering his dad, and his dad was a military guy, and how his dad looked at the world a lot differently than he does. And, of course, the guy was hesitant about, like, he didn't want to go in the military, and after he graduated high school and stuff, he graduated, he tried his hand at just going into the workforce for a while, and that didn't turn out too well for him. So he ended up joining the military and went to Vietnam. And of course, his dad was proud of him about that and everything. But I don't think a lot of what I take from the story is that while he's actually in Vietnam and he thinks about to these memories of his dad and how hard his dad was on him and stuff, he also starts understanding where his dad was coming from, because now he's in war and he's in the thick of it. And he might not ever wanted to do it, but he's realizing he has no choice but to at some point he ends up having to do things, that he didn't ever want to have to do. So I just wanted to do this as a better insight to what you're working with here. I'm currently on the second volume, and this is the scientist that is in charge. There's actually two scientists they're twins, and they're German, and they're part of they're the main ones behind the experiments on the primates. Very, very interesting artwork, I think. There's a lot of stuff here that, there's a lot of, like I was noticing in volume 2 towards the end, there's a lot of scenes where you don't even have dialogue, but it tells a story so well, like from panel to panel, just in the pictures alone on some of the pages, when it goes several pages without any dialogue and it's just all these different action sequences. It's really cool. So I'm going to leave that at that. And I know you guys have already seen a couple of videos of me talking about this a few weeks ago or whenever it was. And so that's about it. Until next time, Mr. Gray Cloud here, Sage of the Eternal Moment. Over and out. Thanks for being here. Hit the like button, subscribe if you could, and ditto.